live at the Chill at Sign Hill, live at the Chill at Sign Hill. We got a special guest at the Chill this evening. Mr. Julian McIntosh just jumped into the trail. You walked with your saxophone.
I just always happen to have it in the trunk of my car. That's my buddy,
Glad to have you in St. Vincent.
Hey, it's always a pleasure to be back home, man. Always a pleasure.
Give us a little background on Julian.
Well, I'm no stranger to St. Vincent. I have a musical legacy background here, and even a political one, going all the way back from Roll Socials, Evening Stars, Cohen Morris, Latinx, Frankie McIntosh band, and then legacy of the family of Liberatum, that big band era when we played at every major venue here, Crow's Nest, Haddon Hotel, Peace Memorial Hall, Spotlight Stadium, Maricopa Valley, just all over the damn place.
Talking about playing all over the place, you play all over the place in Canada and North America, to be exact. That you're one of the major bands, the Caribbean Thunderbolts.
Caribbean Thunderbolts, that's correct. I'm the leader of the Caribbean Thunderbolts, and we have been actually very well booked around the Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa area. A few jobs into the States. And we have been we're supposed to be doing the St. Vincent and Grenadines of Ottawa, big independence banquet on Saturday. So I got to try and get back up for that. And then the Barbadian Independence Dance also on the end of the month. And other dances in between, And then we do a little, break the band down, do small club venues, do jazz, things like that,
Got yourself a couple of CDs from the latest CD. What are you going to play for us?
Well, I'm going to play, I would like to do a blues. This is coming up on my next CD, and I'm going to do Mr. B.B. King there, A Thrill Is Gone. And this is coming on my next CD, which is supposed to be released in, say, a few months. We're still working on it. And I'll do a few things from my latest CD too, and I'll try to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know what I mean?
Out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, how is it that how is it possible for you to be doing all this kind of stuff, all these different genres of music?
Well, my background came from a legacy where I grew up hearing diversity in the family, and we grew up where we had to, study jazz classics, the foundation, and then, along with our traditional music there. So we always had a broad scope for music from my father and my uncles, and so the legacy was there. So I grew into it. And then when I went to North America, I studied at Brooklyn Academy of Music, and then playing with a lot of North American bands. I broadened my scope again, and then we just fit right in with all types of music. It was easy for me because of that background.
Julian McIntosh, our special guest on Vibes Caribbean this week, is a Vibes Caribbean special that's taking a bit of Julian McIntosh live at the Chill at Sign Hill. born a Macintosh, you decided that you had to play music?
No, oh boy, that's a great question. I was just born into it, you know. And when you're born into that atmosphere, that environment, I mean, musical is such a great profession, you know. I mean, what I like about music is that the socialization about it, you know, and then you bring them. It's always a happy environment, you know. It's not like going to a regular job where some people just pissed off or something. It's always a happy environment, you know. And it brings a lot of education with it. It soothes people's nerves, you know, the different types of music, you know, religious music, you know, whatever type of music. I do a lot of things in the church too with gospel choirs in Montreal.
Okay. But you got all this from Grandpa, Papa.
Oh well, George McIntosh, who you know is the I always say the father of this nation, you know, and he was a great musician also. He played the keyboards.
He taught you to play music, or just because he was there that you played?
Well, I got it from my dad. You know, I'm the grandson, so I mean, he passed it on to his sons and daughters, and then they passed that legacy on to us. But as I said, that every Macintosh house you went to, the music was there. It was present, morning, noon, and night, and it was imperative. It was mandatory that we went to whatever lessons, keyboard lessons, whatever. And it was just mandatory to carry on the tradition, you know.
Is this saxophone harder to play than the other wind instruments? You were a little youth, and this was bigger than you.
Well, actually, I remember, you know, when I used to play at, you know, all the hotels around, you know, at that time I used to emulate King Curtis. I loved King Curtis style. And people used to gather to see me play the King Curtis sort of stuff, and always used to tease me, you know. I think I grew a little more about how the sax was bigger than me, you know, but I mean, it was always in a joke, you know, because they were just amazed to see at my age, I guess, controlling such a big
instrument.
You know? But, you know, it's I guess it's the person behind the wheel, you know what I mean? And I fell in love with music. I continued to study music and to represent St. Vincent abroad, because I have traveled, and people, the first thing I notice someone when I ask in my travels, where you're from, and then it's always a pleasure to say I'm from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and they would always say, wow, I mean, did St. Vincent produce such great talent, you know? So it's always a pleasure.
Julian McIntosh, our special guest. Julian is doing a couple numbers for us here. He's live at the Chill at Sign Hill. Ladies and gentlemen, Julian McIntosh.